Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be what you weren't supposed to figure out. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So I'm sitting in the middle of a area where a stream runs through, and yesterday's huge storm we had, this was filled with water. I hope you can hear the beautiful passing by of the water in this stream, where yesterday it was roaring, but today it's a nice little bed for a video. So jumping in, what you weren't supposed to figure out, first of all, you were not supposed to figure out that the narcissist is in fact a narcissist. They tried their best to disguise their mannerisms. They tried to disguise who they were. Every time you would be getting closer and closer to deducing, to figuring out who this person was when you were in a relationship with them, they would give you a little bit of happiness, a little bit of euphoria, maybe a little bit of the love bomb stage to get you off the scent, to get you off the track. Because this is how the cycle goes around. Remember, the cycle goes love bomb / euphoric stage, devaluation, discard, and maybe a Hoover. Point being there is the narcissist, they have a sixth sense. Just like you have a sixth sense post-narcissistic relationship. It's your superpower. Once you rise through the ashes and come through it like a phoenix, you're in the third version of you, the strongest version of you possible, known to humankind, a version of you that you did not even know existed. But flipping it back to the narcissist, they have a built-in sixth sense from when they figured out early on that in their childhood how they were going to behave throughout their life. And this sixth sense is they can test the temperature of their supply sources. They know when to hit the gas. They know when to press the gas even more. They know when your resources have become so depleted that they will kick you to the curb, crumble you up like a sheet of paper, and throw you away on the freeway. Because a couple things. One, they took from you everything they could take. Two, they already had a new supply or multiple sources of supply lined up. And three, this gives them fuel. Watching your demise, it pumps them up. It makes them feel superior to you, makes them feel better than you. And knowing, in their tiny little feeble pea brain, knowing that they took everything from you possibly at that point in time, that again gives them supply. That's why when the relationships end, if you were discarded, I'll tell you right now, the narcissist gave you no closure. The narcissist will never give you closure. The narcissist is incapable of introspection or being accountable. Every time the narcissist opens their mouth, you have to dissect the words they say multiple ways to figure out what the cryptic message is. Although to the exterior, an average human being who is communicating with the narcissist, they probably buy their words hook, line, and sinker, but not you. You know who these people are, you know who these creatures are, and you know what they're capable of. Their words don't match up with their actions. Their words have hidden agendas, hidden meanings. They're cryptic, if you will. But as the thumbnail mentions, what you weren't supposed to figure out, you were not supposed to figure out that they were a narcissist. You weren't supposed to heal. You weren't supposed to get your first light bulb moment and type in a browser, spouse won't talk to me, or have a friend cut your hair and tell you that, hey, I think your relationship's a little topsy-turvy. You may want to take a look at this. And then they gave you one of my videos or another person's videos to educate you. You see, all of us are on the healing path, each and every one of us. There are people right now all over the globe who are being discarded, and that's not a good place to be. There are people right now who are entering narcissistic relationships under the guise of a loving, stable relationship. In other words, the narcissist has already sunk in their dirty fangs into new individuals or new supplies. And then there are people who are discovering for the first moment in time that this wasn't your fault. You were manipulated. You were taken advantage of. You perhaps fell in love with an individual who cannot fall in love, which is the narcissist. You fell in love with a person who you believed was going to grow old with you and build a future. Nothing, and I mean nothing, could be further from the truth, because the narcissist doesn't want to build. They want to take. They don't want to create. They want to destroy. They can't love. They want to punish. This is how the narcissist goes through life, like a bull in a china shop, wrecking each and every relationship, no matter what kind it is, and destroying people's lives, destroying people's hopes, dreams, aspirations, goals, ambitions, futures. This is what the narcissist does. But guess what? You weren't supposed to figure that out. Because most likely, when you were younger, you probably thought, or even now, even maybe this is your first video you're consuming, and if it is, God bless you, but you probably thought most people thought the way you thought, and most people had your best interest at heart. They don't, and they don't. And it took the toxic narcissistic relationship for you to enter, to figure that out. Because while you were in that relationship with the narcissist, you were giving to a fault. Maybe you were a people pleaser. Maybe you are an empath. Maybe you're a kind, loving individual. Maybe you didn't want to give up on love. Maybe you respected the wedding vows you took. Maybe you thought that the narcissist could change. Maybe you thought the narcissist was just having a bad day 364 days out of the year because the one day that they were being nice, that was just to keep you strung along. But all these things that I share on the channel, these are all realities of the narcissistic relationship. A relationship that you did not even know existed, but yet you were in it. You did not know that once you professed to the narcissist that you loved them, or you wanted to move in with them, or have children with them, or go into business with them, or put a roof over their head, or be their friend, or show them your hobbies, whatever you did, once you did that, that's when the narcissist sees the opportunity. Because the door was now open. It was actually getting wider and wider opening, and guess who put their foot right through that door? That's right, it was the narcissist. And what did they do? They drove wedges between you and anything that mattered to you, which again included your hobbies, your health, your time, your money, your immediate family members, your friends from decades ago, your school system, meaning your education. They would do anything they could to kibosh your growth and progress, because that's what these people do. They go from person to person, place to place, business to business, relationship to relationship, leaving a wake of destruction in their path. That is exactly why the suggestion that I provide for you on the channel virtually every video is, if you have the ability to go no contact, block them, delete them, remove all flying monkeys and people associated with them, I strongly suggest you do that. If you can't, and I understand all of our circumstances are unique and different, then utilize gray rock, which means just become dull and boring and get off of their radar. Become small. That's what you need to do. But as the thumbnail mentions, you weren't supposed to figure this out. You weren't. You were never supposed to put yourself back together. You were never supposed to figure out that narcissism is prevalent all over the planet. You were never supposed to get the education and the wisdom. What you were supposed to do was stay stuck in your house or your apartment or wherever you were living and pining for the narcissist, thinking if you could have done better. What did you do wrong? Why the narcissist discarded you, or why that relationship didn't work out? You were never supposed to get that light bulb moment. You weren't supposed to get the key to the castle, which means the key to enlightenment. It means the key to your abundance. It was the key that was all around your neck the whole time, but you did not know it was there because you were trapped in the narcissistic fog, or the devaluation stage. You were being berated. You were being gaslit, stonewalled. You were being given the silent treatment. You experienced rage fits. You experienced the smear campaign. You also, I can assure you, experienced my least favorite thing these creatures do, which is triangulation, which is they inserted another individual in your relationship. Whether this person existed or not, it doesn't matter. They planted a seed of doubt in the relationship multiple times, essentially telling you that you weren't working hard enough for the relationship. And that, what did that do? That made you work even more, because you did not know what the term triangulation meant. So you were working for the narcissist. You became a shell of yourself. You became an extension of that creature called the narcissist, and they knew what they were doing. So going back to the sixth sense that they possess, it's an ability to see where you are. Just like me, myself, post-narcissistic relationship, I can tell where people are on the healing path. I can tell within a few sentences of their words. I can tell if they need a lot of help, or if they need a little help, or if they're close to getting across the bridge to my side, to the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, or if the, these scars and the wounds are fresh. And that I have that ability because I've gone through it. And most likely you have that ability as well. But the narcissist, they knew what you were and who you were before you even knew yourself. You see, narcissistic creatures, these people, what they do is they look for beautiful, bright, shining lights. They look for people that have a high level of empathy, or multiple resources that they can take from. And they swarm into this person's life, which was you, and it was me. And then what they do is they get really close to you, and they act like they like your hobbies. They act like they like everything about you, and they love bomb you and shower you with fake adoration, fake empathy, fake humanity, fake love. And then they get you to put your guard way down, if your guard wasn't already down, and then you profess the three magic words, I love you. And that's when it is game, set, and match for the narcissist, until you go through that whole relationship. Whether the relationship lasted a few days, months, years, or decades, there will be a pivotal turning point there. Either A, you will get discarded, or B, you will exit it yourself, or C, the third alternative, which my hope is this is not you, is you stay trapped in the narcissistic fog, and you don't think there's a better day ahead of you, and you don't think you can live without the narcissist, and there's no hope for you. That is not you, because you made it this far in the video. But the pivotal day will happen when you will be on your own. Let's say you did get discarded, and you will have to really fill a void of all the toxicity that you just exited, and you will slowly begin to just be. This is called the healing path. This is when you will insulate yourself. This is when you will self-isolate. This is when you will be in the cocoon of boundaries. This is when you will journal, you will meditate, you will practice radical acceptance, you will see a therapist, you will heal childhood wounds, and you will have many, many dark nights. You will have sleepless nights. You will gain weight. You will lose weight. You will not feel like leaving your house. But what will you be doing? Whether you know it or not, you will be healing. But the healing path takes time. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a mountain of work. There is no magic pill or no wand that can be waved to heal you. And if anybody ever tells you, do this, this, or this, and you'll heal in a week, in a month, 5 months, or a year, run for the hills, because they do not know what they are talking about. The healing path is directly related and contingent upon how much healing you do yourself. Not courses that you take, not videos that you watch, not books that you read. It's the processing of your life, of your existence that you're going to have to go through. And only you can do that. Yes, there are coaches, and yes, there are guides along the way that you can utilize, and you should utilize. Are you kidding me? You should use any support system that is on your side to your favor. Because when you're in a relationship, you could be sitting right next to the narcissist on a couch watching a movie or a documentary, and you never felt more alone than that when you were sitting right next to them. Why? Because they may have been physically present with you, but they were checked out mentally because they were on one of their 3 smartphones looking for your replacement. That's what the narcissist does. They have an insatiable quench for people, an insatiable quench for supply, an insatiable quench for taking what other people provide and taking more and more and more from them. As the thumbnail mentions, what you weren't supposed to figure out, another thing was that it's not just the narcissist that doesn't have your best interest at heart. It is coworkers, it is colleagues, it is neighbors, it is people that you're in communities and or organizations with. It could be your own family, it could be siblings, it could be your parents, it could be your lover, it could be anybody, it could be a teacher. Many people want to be like you. Many people are jealous of you. Many people are envious of you. Many people want to be you. And I do mean that. You need to really have boundaries. You need to not be a people pleaser. You need to take the lifelong learning lesson from the narcissistic relationship and capture that period of growth each and every day and have boundaries and learn how to say the strongest word in the English language, which is, it's no. When you say no, you are saying yes to yourself and no to something or someone else. That is a very powerful word. It's a word that you need to utilize, because when you say no, you are putting down a boundary. And that is the strongest word ever in the English language. It's only 2 letters, but it means so much. So example, remember back when you were with the narcissist would say, hey, give me a ride here, pick up the peanut butter, go vacuum, walk the dog, clean the house, pay the bill. And what would you do? You would do exactly what you were told, because you were caught up in the zombie-like, trance-like state, the narcissistic fog. You were a pawn, you were a puppet. You were in it too deep. You didn't know that you were in it. You did not know how to get out of it because you didn't know you were placed in that narcissistic fog. But now you've healed, or you're well on the healing path, and now you have boundaries. Now you understand your worth and your value, and you can say no. Another thing that you weren't supposed to figure out is that people all around you throughout your whole life have probably been taking shots at you. Meaning, if you're an empath, kind, loving individual, you probably felt like you had a target on your back your whole life. I'll tell you why, because you did. The reason you did is because in your family, you probably were the white sheep or the black sheep, whatever you want to call it. In other words, you were the outcast, and you were the person who kept the family together. You were the glue of the family, and most people leaned on you to do the right thing because they knew you would do the right thing. But see, that's a one-way street, because when you're the person that people lean on in the family and you get things done because you're a kind, loving individual, maybe an empath, people take advantage of that because they know you will always do the right thing because you're built that way, and that's not the way they're built. The way they are built is to lean on you and have you do things that are quietly expected of you, even though it's not your responsibility, but you can't go to sleep at night unless you do the best you possibly can. That is called weaponizing your empathy against you. That's a whole different video. Remember, about 8 months ago, I created a video called The Educated Empath. If you have the opportunity, play that and check it out. It probably applies to you in some capacity. That means because you have a high level of empathy or you have resources, it doesn't mean that you need to provide those for other people. You give back to people when your cup is full. You give back to people when you want to. You give back to people who you are in reciprocal relationships with, 2-way relationships that are equal, that are 50-50 or 48-52 and flip-flop like that. But you don't any longer give back to people who are giving you nothing in return but emptiness, but toxicity, but shallowness, but anxiety, but health concerns, but financial abuse, but mental abuse, but spiritual abuse, but emotional abuse, but everything they provide. That's the narcissist. So what you weren't supposed to figure out, there's a whole litany of things. A 20-minute video can't do it justice, but I hope you're getting the message from this video. You were never, ever supposed to figure out who they were. You were never supposed to get the light bulb moment. You were never supposed to heal. You were never supposed to pay it forward. You were never supposed to understand how high of a value person you are, what a high valuable individual other people, how they see you. Because people see you, just like that sun shining on my clothes and my face right now. That's how people see you, as a beautiful, bright, shining light. That's how I see you. That's how I see myself. Now, it took me a long time to actually figure that out because I was a people pleaser. I was a yes person, and I was not supposed to figure out my value or my worth. Now I know it exponentially. I've gone through something that most people, A, don't go through, B, don't come through and rise through the ashes like a phoenix and enter the third version of themselves, the most galvanized, strongest version of themselves, and C, discover who they really are and discover what they can do on this planet called Earth. Those things are what you are doing. Those things are what you have done or you're on the way to doing. That's why you're on the channel. That's why you made it this far in the video. But I will tell you, most people don't get the wisdom. Most people don't apply the wisdom. Many people don't break the trauma bond. Many people don't believe they're strong enough. You are, you can, you will, and you've done it. At least that's my hope. Because you've been challenged to your core. You perhaps even experienced the dark night of the soul, which changed the trajectory of your life forever. Perhaps you even went through some other things, health concerns, financial concerns. You figured out that your social network blew up right in front of your face as you got discarded, or after you just got discarded, or you ended the relationship, because the smear campaign was well underway and all these people became casualties of the relationship. Again, for a whole different video. There will be many, many casualties of the relationship. It won't just be the narcissist. You will lose children, you will lose parents, you'll lose friends, hobbies. You will lose so much, but there will be a point when you don't have anything left to lose, and that's the pivotal turning point. When you heal, you introspect, you learn, you become awakened and aware, educated and empowered, and that's exactly what I did. So understand the message. You weren't supposed to figure out so many things about the narcissist, but I'll end it with this. The narcissist never in a million years thought you would figure them out. They really didn't, because they captured you and they kept you in a mental prison for years. And they did not want you to communicate with other individuals. That's why they isolated you. That's why they drove wedges between you and anything that mattered, because they wanted to keep you stuck. They did not want you advancing. And the whole time they kept you stuck, they wanted to take everything from you they possibly could. And they accomplished that for a period of time. Until when? Until they didn't any longer. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. I hope you can hear this beautiful little stream flowing down at my feet. This time yesterday, this was a lot of water coming through, and I'm grateful that it cleared out, and now you guys can get a little sound in the background, a different sound. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Bye.